All right. Well, I wanted to make a video on this situation with the New Orleans jail escape. All these terrible people who obviously did terrible things and are an absolute plague to society for what they did. They did horrible crimes, and it seems almost as if they were basically just let out, which makes it even more infuriating. Now, most of them have been caught already, well, because obviously they're idiots, and they were, because truth be told, they were idiots for doing what they did in the first place. So what makes you think that these fucking morons are going to be able to outlast this network of, people looking for them? So obviously there's that. Most of them have been caught, and most of them, or probably all of them, are going to get caught, or end up fucking committing more crimes and getting caught for that, and then getting sent back. Now, Matt Walsh's expose on it just makes you so angry, and maybe that's the way his content is formulated. He's a pretty intelligent dude and makes great videos explaining kind of the truth of it. But at the same time, you can get the sense that they were really not fucking worried at all about this type of thing. Now, people make mistakes all the time, but how do you fucking let this happen? It's practically like they were just let out, and the people who are in charge of this whole situation don't seem to really give a shit. It's almost as if they wanted them to escape. So that is just blood boiling. And New Orleans is a place where it's very, it's probably full of a lot of grimy shit. It's like this isn't like rural Colorado. It's a place that is chock full of these kinds of situations, but at the same time, it really pisses you off to think that some people like them could just be freely let out. And I would say that they should be punished heavily for even attempting to be able to just run freely. You know, one of which was convicted of killing two random innocent people. Don't ever let this fucker out in a drug deal hit or whatever gone wrong. Just never let this fucker out. So these are awful human beings. Obviously, there's going to be some controversy surrounding their race because of that, but you shouldn't be allowed to, it shouldn't be like you're not allowed to say that about them. If they committed atrocities, they're fucking awful human beings. They're a plague to society. Keep them locked up forever. So, I mean, this whole thing happened May 16th, of course. The problem in Twitter, obviously, was there are certain groups of people that are, I would like to say along the yo-yo hustler culture, who kind of think this was all a big joke. And it's all this, everything is funny, everything's a joke. Nothing is serious. They live in a GTA PvP server, and this is like a little game to them. Oh yeah, like murder fucking criminals and all this other awful shit. Run, get away from, beat the man. Fuck the authorities. They're awful human beings, and why would anybody support these motherfuckers is ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, you get all kinds of moronic fucking posts. Look at this. These are the people who's those New Orleans escapees aren't locked up for stealing Cheetos out of the corner store. Yes, no kidding. Look at these motherfuckers. Look what these motherfuckers did. Convicted of double murder, accused second-degree murder, facing second-degree murder, held for attempted first-degree murder, recaptured, has a history of previously accused of shooting a man, history of escapes dating back 2007, currently held for domestic abuse, rape. Like these are not good people. Don't support them. Fucking put them in fucking El Salvador Seacot. Like these are not. Let's not. And of course you got these people are, oh, look at, like, she's like the Riddler, coming out there. Just admit you fucked up. Just admit that this is a terrible situation, and ugh, and everybody really has their pick of who will stay free the longest. Hope they all get caught. Lock those fuckers up. Never let them out again. It's like, I don't care what they did, but yeah, I mean, look at they've they're doing this kind of, like, it's fun. It's all fun and games. Uh, you know, yeah. It's the biggest story, and the fact that now I would say that New Orleans is probably not the nicest neighborhood. I said this earlier. I would say that New Orleans has probably got massive problems, but the fact that these people can just fucking walk out of prison is deeply, there's something wrong. Don't put them back in the same fucking place. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's attracted a certain crowd that likes to make jokes and everything's funny, and yo 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 gangster culture. I would rat every single one of these motherfuckers out. It was like, snitches get stitches, yo. And it's like, I'd fucking tell on every single one of these cocksuckers. I don't want them fucking roaming any street. What I mean? If one of these motherfuckers was on Instagram telling where he's at, of course I would snitch on all of these cocksuckers. They're not, and then look at, you got other people fucking helping them out. You know what I mean? You got other people fucking helping them out. For helping. Well, like, why would they want to help those people get out? Good. Good that they're fucking locked up. Good. Fucking good. Put them all in the same place together. These are not nice people. These are not people we should be cheering on. And trust me, of course, a lot of people just are joking and trying to have a little bit of fun. And oh my God, it's like, ooh, it's like a game. We could take bets. But some people appear to be actually cheering these fuckers on. And it's like, no, don't cheer them on. They're not good people. Fucking, they're absolutely awful motherfuckers. Look how quick they all started getting captured. Hey, it's leading to the thought process in a lot of these people who already think like fucking criminals to think, if I was in a prison for horrible crimes and I was never getting out anytime soon, and they basically just let me walk out because the details surrounding it are so ridiculous that you can't even fucking do that. You can't even begin to talk about it. It's like these people with already this bad anti-societal mindset have thought that they really are, like, what the fuck is wrong with them, man? It's an interesting news story, though, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it really is an interesting news story. But yeah, I mean, you're getting these people who already think like terrible people, thinking, oh, what would I do? Oh, I would do this, and I would do that. No, people aren't smart. It's the whole reason they turned out to be fucking assholes in the first place to other people, is that they're just not smart. They don't see that what they did to get there is wrong, and these they're just not right. And it's getting this conversation of of all these people saying, like, why would you support that? Why would people be so shitty to even attempt to support that? So I mean, yeah, you got it. It's a very captivating news story, isn't it? There are these inmates got out, basically just let off the hook. Uh, just sheriffs. it just New Orleans stinks of a place that is not very has not gone very well for the United States. You know, you got places in the United States like, you know, uh, I don't know, like there are nice cities for sure in the U.S., but New Orleans does not sound like one of them. Not at all. It seems to harbor kind of not the greatest side of U.S. culture, and this type of shit going on kind of proves it. You know, places get bad rap like you know, New York City and LA. They're just such mega metropolises that, you know, you're obviously gonna have this kind of thing no matter what. But New Orleans speaks to me as a place that is just so poorly maintained, so so many harboring so many uh, you know, uh, rot in society, that it really seems like a place that is kind of against the on the news circuit. It's like, let's just say it's definitely on the news circuit of you know, that's so I mean, yeah, it's a big news story. It's been going on for a bit. It's this jailbreak, you know, crime drama people, you know. No wonder Prison Break was such a interesting TV series, and it harbors back to that thing of, you know, what kind of a society allows this thing to happen? You can't allow it to. It's like put them in, you know, put them in a place where there's no hope of getting out. It's just no way. And most of it, it's mostly like that. But if this looks like a situation, these people kind of operate as they want to in these places. Um, and it really draws on the conservative view that, you know, don't allow this shit to happen. Don't allow them to do this. Look at some of these fucking people, man. They had to build that. Possession of firearm, felony, motor vehicle theft, multiple drug charges. You know, like, isn't that the reason? And would you look at that, once you get some cheeky lads ready to make the thing, full investigation of the incident. Yeah, no fucking wonder. No wonder. Jail's only at 60% staffing at the time of state. Four supervisors were monitoring 1,400. That's an insane statistic. You almost need the thing like four people. Like, I can see that if they were like fucking, you know, took a car and, you know, drove it into a fence post, you know, on a thing accidentally. You know, I could see the and injured someone or something. But some of these people are just complete and utter monsters. And to even allow them into a place where they could potentially escape in this manner is just making people think they're being like, oh, huh, well, we have like all these people that, you know, the system has to it has to maintain them, because if these people just got out and these people roaming around the streets, I'm very far from New Orleans, very very far, but that situation is just like, how could you feel? How would you feel to know that these people just kind of are roaming around who did this? And there are people roaming around at all times who knows what their state is. But, you know, in order for a person like this person to do all of that shit, and that's what he got caught for, you know, just roaming the streets when he should be, you know, incarcerated, is just a weird feeling. And I think that's why it's become such a captivating news story. And it's leading to the people, to the crowd of people who is certainly, most certainly, on the side of the people escaping, you know, fuck the police, that those type of people that are saying things that are like just really, really annoying. To take these people's sides in any capacity, that's like another. Was this one from the Washington Post? Good, good. Why would you help? What kind of a person roots for or has any amount of sympathy for these kinds of people who do these things? It's insanity. Look at that place. Looks like a fucking business park. Holding these kinds of human beings. Like, what are we even saying? Watch this. Yeah, it opens up a huge amount of questions in the United States. It leads to people feeling as if there's most certainly something wrong with the system there. Uh, it's just an overall sense that there are people rooting for criminals out there, which is just so is. Of course, people are betting money on who gets caught and shit like that. Of course, that's the sickness that this U.S. culture has led to, is that they're actually rooting for and betting on people who just waltzed out of this woman. This comes up from the Matt Walsh story. Is this woman is just absolutely, it's just like complete face palm. She seems to almost be upset that people are even making a big deal of it. It's like, oh my God, why are people so upset? It's like we'll catch them eventually. Like, we'll just let them back in. She said some incredible things about how it's just like, it's not that big of a deal. They weren't supposed to go out. It's like unbelievable. Unbelievable situation, and that is why it's such a captivating story. If it was one or two or things, but how are all these people interacting with one another in the same area, let alone escaping? Did they not even? Did they just let them loose in like a big area together and then not watch them? Like, what the fuck? So, anyways, I would recommend the Matt Walsh story on it. It's just like, I know his comment. Talk to bounty hunter. Send dog. Send in the dog. Catch them all. Catch every single one of them. Uh, you know, Fuck them. Anybody who would root for these scumbags is an absolute degenerate. It's incredible. Incredible. Once again, like the Carmelo Anthony story, it's like these people have to wonder, you know, what kind of people cheer them on? Why would anybody cheer them on? And how the story captivates the nation is the fact of that, there's just deeply something wrong with that type with it. Um, yeah, it's a story that's crazy and it's interesting. And yeah, I mean, my take on that is like, good, catch them all. It's like, I don't give a fuck about any one of them. I'm rooting for every single one to be caught. I don't give a shit about snitches to get stitches bullshit. I do not give a fuck about any of that garbage. It's a sign of a culture that is deeply, 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 um, hostile to normal, peaceful life. It's like the absolute goal of them to do that. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting story. Yeah, people like bragging about it on Instagram with AK-40s. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Honestly. Oh, FBI is like that's where it seems like they kind of they've taken it a little bit more serious. You know, if they were just kind of like, well, too bad they got up, they'll turn up sometimes, but no, there seems to be a type of crackdown that's coming from somewhere else because it certainly wasn't happening at the fucking jail. There's a crackdown coming on a bigger level, on a more federal level. You know, I'm not too sure on the specifics of how states operate or something, but people were saying, you know, it's like if something bad happened in this one little zone, the fucking call in the Marines. You know, like you can't just have these god awful people running around rampant. That's not order. So yeah, I mean, interesting story. I got into it with a ton of people on social media on Twitter the other day about it because it just really seemed like a lot of people in this one fear buck post on it just seemed to be cheering on the situation. It's kind of like, haha, rules don't apply. You know, fuck everyone. You know, hope they stay out. You know, that kind of thing. And it's like, what irreprehensible people would cheer these scumbags on? It like really, really, and they probably all will get caught because they were idiots for being as terrible as they are in the first place, and they're idiots when they escape. So yeah, I mean that's my take on it. Very interesting story. Uh, Further signs of collapse in the U.S. I hope they maintain that order because that cannot ever happen, in my opinion. And it's truly insane that it even happened in the first place. So yeah, that's my video and peace out.